Okay, it's no big deal. Hi, guys. Welcome to my first podcast episode. Roll the intro, if there's gonna be an intro. This is so awkward for me. Okay, so I say hi, guys, as if I'm talking to like a bajillion people, but it's probably like one person just like randomly landed on my podcast and is just like bored right now because that's honestly what I do. But hi, my name's Genesis, aka the Misfit, aka Genesis the Misfit. Welcome to my podcast called Misfit's Room. It's a long story, semi long story as to how my podcast got its name, but it's a cool story. I don't know. I just feel really awkward right now. I don't know where to start, where to begin, what to do. I'm so confused. I really, really wanted this, but then I like procrastinated because I knew it was gonna be like just this weird and this hard to just like figure it out. But I guess that's how every podcast starts. Maybe, I don't know. A lot of people start off with like already having like an amazing personality, and I'm just very meh. You know what I mean? Um, I guess I should start off by saying that I am doing two versions of this podcast. It's going to be audio. I might put it on Apple Podcasts and, all the places that people listen to podcasts on. And then I'm also doing a video version right now on YouTube on the Misfits Room podcast. I'll have all those links everywhere that you need to find them. I don't even know where to begin. This is just the most awkwardest thing ever, and I'm gonna look back at this later on in life if I ever do post this and just like laugh at myself. But this is so funny. The first couple of podcasts, I know I'm gonna have like a whole bunch of like edits and stuff and like things to cut out because I'm just gonna have a whole bunch of like awkward silence and then a whole bunch of like um 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 like here I go again. So pretty much, the whole concept or like reasoning behind this, if you care to know, the one person in my audience that's listening, which might just be me re-listening to my podcast by myself, but I guess I should just start from the beginning. I was born on November. No, I'm kidding. Um, Basically, the idea came about when I was rebranding my online store, like my business. I started a business during quarantine, and it's called Misfit's House, aka like my nickname. If you're audio version, you can see my tattoo of an alien with the name Misfit underneath it. That's like me. That's like it's just me. When I hear Misfit, it's like my name. Like throughout high school, I've always been called like Misfit, which is weird because I gave myself that nickname, but then it just stuck. So I don't know. Um, yeah. So during quarantine, when I like didn't have a job for a while because they started laying everybody off at the moment, I was like, you know what, wacky idea, but let me start a freaking business. And even worse, an online business where like nobody's buying anything because hello, we're like not even mid, like very beginning, like nobody knows what's happening, pandemic, panorama, state of panic. Like what was I thinking? Also, really quick, I would like to note that my AC is very loud and I've closed the vents just so to like minimize the noise. So if you can hear it, I apologize. I have the same issues on my regular YouTube channel where I make videos. It's very loud. I was debating on recording in my closet, but there's no light in there, and I'd have to arrange every single thing when I decide to record a podcast in that closet, and there's just no way. And I don't need you guys to see that or experience that, and I don't want to give myself the weekly hassle of having to deal with that. But anyway, um pretty much had the ridiculous idea to start a business beginning, or you know what, it was July. So yeah, July of 2020. I just went in and started a business with the little money that I had, and I was like, yep, nope, I want to do clothing, and I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna be fine, and it's gonna work out. um Spoiler alert, it's semi working out, but not really. I didn't really think that through. And for some reason I thought COVID would like blow over. But that's not the case. We're still in it, 2021, and July actually. It's been a whole freaking year. Oh my god. Happy birthday, Misfit's house. I didn't even realize. See, that's how bad I am at my business right now. Um Something to know about me is that like when I put my mind to something and I really want it, like I'm head deep, like knee deep, like I'm like I jumped the gun and like that's all that I want to do. So I was doing pretty good until I psyched myself out like I always do, and then I just like abandoned it and then try to come back to it a month later and then abandon it even worse and then come back to it 3 months later and then abandon it. I have this like imposter syndrome where like sometimes things are going good and then the moment like 1 or 2 days where I'm not doing so well as normal businesses do, I'm like, no, this is the end all be all, like it's over. So I've been dealing with that. Like it's just as a human being, at least just as being, oh, my dog is scratching himself. We're just gonna give him his moment. And he's still going. Okay, and we're done. Nope, we're not done. And we're done. So, I've just been allowing myself to have moments, to be honest. And I needed to go through my ups and my downs to just realize who I am and what I can be. Because if I don't have my bad moments, he's going again. No, he's done. His name is Smokey, if you guys don't know him. But I need to let myself have those bad moments or else I'll never realize my true form, you know what I mean? Like everybody's not perfect, so if I don't have those moments, there's like something wrong with me. So pretty much had my business for over a year now. What am I talking about? I just said a year. I started mid-July, I think July 17th or something around that. But I had my business for a year. Now that I'm realizing it, but like over the course of like maybe like 2.5 weeks, maybe 3 weeks ago, I was just like, you know what? I'm not quitting on this. I seem to like find it easy to quit a lot of things and just like forget it, and it never happens. Like even with like relationships, like with exes and everything, like I'll just quit, delete, forget. I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to like fix it. I have to fix it. I can't just start it, waste all this money, and then just throw it away when I have bad days. So I was like, you know what? I am not gonna give up on this. Same thing with my YouTube channel. I've abandoned it like nobody's business. But I was like, you know what? I can't keep doing this because like I have to have those shitty moments in order to get the great moments. And like that's something that like the perfectionist in me will not let me have. But I'm trying. I'm only human and I have to remember that because sometimes I don't remember that. So pretty much I was just like, you know what, Genesis, you need to like rebrand and like you just gotta like start from scratch. So thing is with Misfit's house, I'm gonna get to the point as to why I have a podcast. Trust me, but it's a long story, short story. It has a lot of things in between. But I said, you know what, Genesis, you need to rebrand, you need to regroup, you need to recuperate, and you need to figure out what you want to do because I have like extra clothing and stuff that I have like yet to put on my store because I just feel like I did it out of impulse. When to begin with, I wanted this store to be like a store of clothing that I designed and not bought and resold from a supplier. Like that's just not the vibe that I was going for. Mind you, there are certain products and stuff that I can resell in the sense of like if I were to make a legging like this, I'd be fine with it. Like a black biker shorts. Cool. I at least already have it. I just need to find a way to just reinvent the things that I have pretty much. So I started on that and then realized that it's going to be a lengthy process and I'm going to need something next to it to just kind of like motivate me and remind me why I'm doing this stuff because to be totally honest, starting a clothing brand, especially a clothing brand where you have to like the way that I want to do it, like I want to design my own clothes, it's very expensive. What I did before, like buying and reselling from a supplier, that's a whole heck of a lot cheaper than actually buying the fabric, designing it, finding a designer who will then manufacture it and do all this other stuff. And that's going to take some time. And I'm okay with that. It's fine. It's all part of the game. It's all part of life. So I'm like, I don't want to let that vision fall behind. So I figured, I need to have something adjacent that's also part of the brand that'll remind me every day what I'm doing it for, in a sense. So here I am. I've always wanted to start a podcast. I think it's probably like 2 years. I really came around to the idea. I have a very I rarely talk on a normal day at work from like 8 to 5. I have my own little desk, my own little cubicle and stuff, and I don't necessarily need to talk to my coworkers every day and shoot the shit and just talk about my clients and stuff like that. I just handle my work and the other companies that I have to call probably for 5 minutes at a time where I have to talk to somebody, but that's 5 minutes every hour, so I really don't have to talk to anybody. So it's really hard for me to grasp the concept that, am I able to make a podcast without having a co-host? So I struggled through that. And then I was actually supposed to start a podcast with my ex, and he lives in another state, and it's just logistically, it sounded like a good idea, but logistically, it's not gonna work being in two different states. It's one thing if he was here and I could we could record in the same room, but that's a whole different state. You have to have a whole bunch of different equipment, and then we have to figure out how to give each other the footages and who's gonna edit and who's gonna that and it just didn't make any sense. But I was more comfortable that way because I had somebody to talk to and bounce ideas off of. And now I don't have that. Now I'm just and a person like me, I start talking and then I start to ramble and go on to different tangents, and I never know where to pick up from where I left off or whatever. That's what's happening right now. This is what it's and my stuttering, my freaking stuttering, because I don't talk that much in a day, and I barely talk when I'm at home, or unless I'm making a video and then it starts coming back to me oh yeah, you speak English, did you forget that you actually spoke English and words do come into your mouth? But yeah, struggled with the idea of having a podcast, although wanting it really badly, because when I thought about starting a podcast, it was mostly for me. At the end of the day, I kept telling myself a few days before starting this is at the end of the day, this podcast is for me. It's for my feelings. The reason I call it Misfit's Room is because I'm letting you into a part of Misfit's house, my brand. But, not hypothetically, but what's the word? Imagine yourself in my house, Misfit's house. And the only part of my house that I always keep the door locked and never let anybody in would be my room, because those are my thoughts, those are my feelings, those are that's my baby, that's my child, and I'd like to protect my feelings and my opinions and stuff like that. But I'm only hurting myself by not allowing myself to have emotions and express my emotions. So you know what? Misfit's Room. There you go. I'm letting you into my room. I'm letting you into my world, my corner, my circle, my ambiance, if you will. I'm letting anybody who would listen into my room, and also in a sense create a room for someone else who doesn't have that, who needs help getting to that point where the dog is going on an encore. It's an encore. Okay, he's done. Nope. Okay, he's done. But I also wanted to... He's just so rude. Can you stop scratching yourself? I get it, but you're dramatic sometimes. Anyway, what was I saying? See, this is why. Yeah, I wanted to also create the safe space where other people can listen and feel like they're in a safe room too, and they can talk about their feelings and talk to me, or just know that they can express themselves and not be judged, Well, I can't believe I've been talking for 15 minutes and I'm not losing my mind right now. I had a whole 8 minutes recorded before this, and I was just monotone, and I'm just I get into my head for no reason, and I'm great. I'm a great person and I do a lot of great things, and I just get into my head and act like I'm not good enough, and then yeah. But anyways, and the whole reasoning on why I'm doing both audio and video is that, video is for, in the event that you want to like leave a comment or whatever, like you have that immediate space to like talk to me, because I am such a small, I guess, YouTuber, podcaster. You'd always have someone to talk to, and I just want everybody to have just a safe space, just like the way my room is a safe place for me. I can't, wow, stuttering all over again. Just the way that my room is a safe place for me. And a lot of things happen between four walls that you call your room. And also, okay, I just want to preface, I just want to say that my hand, this microphone normally sits on a desk and I don't have to touch it. But because I wanted to look like a podcaster on my video, I'm holding it when I don't need to hold it. And I have a mic stand, but I have it in my car, and I haven't taken it out of my car in over like a year now, because I took a break from like making music. But like, I need it now, and I'm gonna take it out tomorrow probably. But so if you hear a lot of that noise, my apologies. What was I getting at? So yeah, moral of the story, to wrap things up: save space for me, for you, for everyone, where you can tell and say or do, any opinion is accepted here, whether you feel like it's right or wrong. You know, there's a lot of hate going on in the world right now, and we don't need another one of those podcasts where, I don't know, I just want things to be open. I just want to be able to like say, if I'm one day I'm feeling upset, I can come up here and say that I'm upset. Someone else can relate, and you know, we can be upset together, and then another day we can be happy, and that other person can be happy, and then we can be happy together. Or one is happy, one is sad, and we can both like lift each other up, and vice versa. You know what I mean? Like, there are certain podcasts where it's like, well, at least that I've listened to, where they have a co-host and they can talk to each other and figure things out. But like, I'm here by myself, and I've always been that kind of person where I'm always by myself and I have to go through things by myself. That to a certain point, it's so hard to deal with feelings by yourself that you just kind of just want to bottle it in and pretend like, nope, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. And I got to a point, literally, you know what, it was probably like yesterday or 2 days ago. Like, a lot of things have come full circle for me. It's crazy, and like, it's given me more of a reason to like, you know, start this podcast and like start something, because you know what, I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna put it on the pod. Why not? I guess we'll just jump right into it. Like, in the sense of like relationships, I used to know this person, and we used to hang out, but like 3-ish years ago, maybe 4. I think 3, around the 2018 era ish, maybe 17 or 18. 18, I think, somewhere around there. But I used to make music a lot. If you really go digging and searching for me, you will find me. But I'm not really comfortable talking about that right now. But anyways, we used to make music, and at a certain point it started to get like, not personal, I guess personal, but like, we just, feelings started to develop, and there was more feelings that I had than that person had. And then at a certain point, it was just like, I knew at the end of the day it would never work out. But mind you, also, we used to go to like school together, like, like, we knew each other since middle school, and like, I've always had a crush on him, and he knew that. And even before that, he used to like bully me all the freaking time, and we would walk home from school like in a group of our friends. And long story short, he reached out to me about 2 days ago, and he's like, first of all, he came like asking, like looking for like music that we made before, or like something that we've done before, whatever, to like give him inspiration because he's working on a new album or whatever. And at first I like acknowledged him and I talked to him, but then after a while I'm just like, why am I giving somebody who first of all bullied me when I was like in middle school, but then I also like try to reconcile and like had like a friendship, but then I started to get feelings again, but then I just knew it wasn't gonna work out. Like, why am I giving him the time of day? Like, I just feel like people use, and I never get anything in return. So I was just like, at a certain point I was like, I'm not gonna respond. Who am I to respond? Like, no, F you. And then messages me again, and then messages me again up until like 2 days ago, and he's like, hey, can you just call me? Like, do you mind giving me your number? Or like, can you just call me? And I'm just like, oh no. why? And he did it so smart because he caught me at a perfect time where I was on Facebook, and then he's like, yeah, no, like I need, like he messaged me knowing damn well that I was seeing it. So I'm like, all right, fine, call him, and then we had a great conversation, and he literally was the greatest conversation I've ever had, where I've actually like I'm talking about my feelings, and I'm not like going to have a panic attack and cry and like spiral out of control. So, he apologized for his behavior. He complimented me on things that I've always felt insecure about. And I keep touching my headphones. And also, like, showed me a whole bunch of appreciation in the sense of, like, I helped him in a sense with his music career. Not like I helped him with his music career, not like that, but like I gave him a safe place to come over to my house and do his music and just feel safe and secure and just comfortable. You know what I mean? And he appreciated that, and I appreciated him for realizing that and also like telling me that, because sometimes you forget. But we had a really good conversation, and that was just great. So like I've been having a lot of those moments lately. Even just yesterday, I reconciled with an old friend too, who we used to talk, but it was just not really like one of those things with men where it's just like it's neither here nor there, but you guys kind of like each other, whatever. Had another good talk with him, and he wanted to like try, but I was just like, in all honesty, like as much as I would like to, I just don't see it happening. And I really wanted to try, and I really wanted it to work because, mind you, he's cute. He's not ugly, but I was just like, I know myself. And I'm not going to let myself go down this path again because I've had this pattern with this person before, and I knew it just wasn't going to work out. Sorry, I forget that my camera only records like 25 or 30 minutes at a time. So, like, I had to just like reset everything. But, yeah, I mentioned to him, and I was just like, you know what? As much as I would love for this to work out, it's just not going to work out in my eyes because I'm just not the person you need or want. And I know that you won't admit that to yourself because you're just chasing the lust part of it. And I was so proud of myself because me months ago, me probably a year ago, would simp so hard and just like agree and just like get my heart broken again and again and again and again and again. But this time I was just like, there are other people in this world who would be glad to treat me like a princess, like a queen that I am, without, accepting all my faults. Like, I don't have to lower my standards, lower the way I think people should treat me because I like a person. You know what I mean? Like, there's somebody willing to accept me with all my faults. I want to say faults and flaws at the same time. But they'll accept me for who I am, and I don't have to change myself to be accepted, or just to be, you know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't have to change myself to be. Oh my god, let me look at the quote. I downloaded a quote that I saw on Instagram, and I just, something along the lines of like, the version of me you created in your mind is not my responsibility. I don't have to be that person that you created in your mind. So I was just like, you know what? This is not healthy, and it's just not gonna work out. And we left on good terms. No hate, no anything, but it's just like, both we both understood that like this is where our story ended, and we just moved on from that. And then literally I've been having moments like this all freaking day, or over the past 2 days. And then today I remembered that I gotta burp again. Excuse me. And then today I remembered that I had spoken to, well, let me backtrack. Okay, so I used to date this guy probably over a year ago, maybe 9 months, maybe 8 or maybe 10. But I used to date him. Great guy, honestly, but he had his own personal things that he was going through that my puzzle piece just didn't fit into his puzzle. It just wasn't working out. It's like three of the sides matched, but just the one side, it just wasn't fitting in. So I kind of got to I guess, greedy in the sense of like what I wanted. Not greedy, but it's just like we were on two different pages. We were in the same book, but on two different pages, and we just couldn't get to the same page. And so I was being very selfish, and I wanted things that I knew he couldn't give to me because he's also going through some things. So it was just an awful way to go about things. We just childish things like ghosting each other, and then we just like never ended up talking. And like I have my faults and everything, but like I'm a great person and I'm a great girlfriend. And so months after that, he, came to his senses, but like, like reflected on life and like got better with the things that was bothering him that wasn't like me, like his own personal things. He got through that, and then he messaged me and was like, I just want to apologize. I now want to see if we can have like a second chance, and I realized my faults and yada yada yada. Just like really just like trying to explain himself and his feelings and what he was going through, while also trying to like reconcile. And I was a total biatch, and I was just like, no, because up until like now, like I'm trying to change that. Like this is what I've been realizing over the past couple of days is that when I'm hurt, and the walls go up, the brick walls are up, and that's it. It's going to take a nuclear bomb to knock him down. But the moment I'm hurt the first time, and you try to come around the second time and just try to like fix it, I don't feel like fixing it anymore. And that's kind of bad. Like I have to give people the benefit of the doubt at least once, And I was just like, no, no, no. Put the wall up. Like I put two walls up. I 2 times did. I just put this massive wall, created a roof, and hid myself in it. And I was just like, no, like I told him everything in the book. I wasn't like insulting him, but I wasn't just like, no, you didn't appreciate me, you didn't this, you didn't that, you didn't. And I was just like, looking back at it now, it's like I kept saying you didn't, but like not everything was his fault. And sometimes I feel like I'm perfect in a relationship and I'm not. So yeah, just realizing that. I mean, I can go into depth about all my past relationships, and they are all different, which is the strangest thing to me. I have like the most weirdest type, and you would think that I have a type, but I don't have a type. Like my type is all over the spectrum, which is the weirdest thing ever. But I don't know. I could have a whole other episode about that, but today I came to like just remember him. Like he just popped into my head today, and I was just like, you know what? Looking back, I was a complete asshole, and I feel like I should apologize. So I'm going and I'm looking on my Instagram because I deleted his name off of his number, but I remember I had a conversation with him, so I was looking for that conversation, but I don't have the number. Like I don't have his name saved, but I know I have the number in the chat somewhere, and I'm looking, don't have it. So I hop on my Instagram, and I was like, I'm trying to remember his Instagram handle. It's the most weirdest with like numbers, letters, and underscores and whatever, and I'm like trying to figure it out. It's not coming up, and I'm just like, either he blocked me or what's going on. So some way somehow did some detective work. I realized that maybe I am blocked. So I hop on my dog's Instagram account and I look for him again, and I find him. I was like, yeah, well, guess I'm blocked. Oh, and my camera's dying. Gotta regroup, gotta reset. We'll be back. Probably put some commercial breaks in here. Probably not. I'm not sponsored. Okay, be back. Okay, and just like that, I'm back. I'm such a dummy. I realized, I knew, but I just didn't pay any mind to it. I used my camera to like make a video a while ago, and I never took the battery out to charge, and it started to die on me. And I was charging the other battery like while I was recording this. So I'm hoping that it has enough charge to hold off. I really should buy like probably like 2 more just so that I can interchange them. But where did I left off? Where did I leave off? Proper English? Can I? Somebody teach me? Where did I leave off? So yeah, I found out he blocked me. Used my dog's like the camera turns off, and then I turn it back on, and then the stuttering starts again. But no. So I used my dog's Instagram, and I realized like, okay, yeah, he did block me because now I can see him on my dog's Instagram, whereas on my own personal one, I don't see him. So yeah, I've been blocked. Okay, great. And then I go and I start to type, and then I'm just like, you know what? forget him. He blocked me. He doesn't deserve my time of day. But then I'm just like, you wicked idiot. Like, this is the reason why, like, you're having so many, like, personal issues. My chair squeaks so bad. And, like, this is why you're having so many personal issues, because you just don't know how to be nice. I mean, you do, but, like, you just don't know how to be considerate sometimes. So I was just like, put the phone down. I was just like, nope, not happening. And then in the middle of doing my makeup, getting ready for this podcast, I was just like, but why not? Like, why are you such an asshole? Like, people deserve to have their feelings hurt too. So I was just like, you know what? I also don't know how to wear a headphone. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to send him a message and I'm just going to leave it at that. And if he doesn't answer, fine. And if he does, fine. So I go and I send my message and I was like, explaining myself, like, I feel bad about how I acted, and he's also a human being who also has feelings, and my job that day was not to bring him down. My job that day, when he did come back months later, was to just listen and understand his feelings and where he came from, as much as I want everybody else to do that for me. And that's something that I've been lacking. So I was just like, you know what, that was my bad, my fault, I was completely a bitch, and I appreciate what you said that day, and just want to apologize. And I just don't want the last feeling of, or like the last memory of a relationship, to just have a bad feeling or bad taste in your mouth. Like, you just have like a bad memory. Like, that's just not what I want. Because I was just been on a streak of just like apologies and reconciliation and just like fixing everything that just like I don't need to continue the rest of my life thinking negatively on, you know what I mean? So apologized, and he accepted it and unblocked me, and we're following each other. Not to say that we're gonna like become best friends, but like, I'm happy with that. Wow, just getting up and changing my battery has me so wounded. I'm trying to like hold in my breath. But yeah, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that moment, because I had to remind myself, like, I'm not boy crazy, but like I'm a serial dater. So like if I'm not dating somebody, like it's like, okay, who's next? Who's next? And I'm just like, you know what? Even if you're apologizing right now, it's not that you're trying to fix anything to get back with him. You know what I mean? Like, you're just admitting your wrongs, and that's okay. And that doesn't mean that you have to do anything for anybody. All in all, I do want to acknowledge, or to say that I'm proud of myself, because normally I wouldn't have been able to do that. I'm just very like stuck up is not the word, but like I'm just like, hurt me once, shame on you. Don't get to hurt me twice. There's no shame on me. It's never gonna happen. I need to just open up a little more, and maybe I won't be such a sad person or like depressed person that I've been feeling lately. I just felt like, I don't know, but like just being able to open up these past few days and like not getting so just depressed in a sense, it makes me feel a whole lot better, because things like this will happen, and it'll happen. I'm just gonna brush it off and pretend like it's fine, and I'll build my wall, and it'll be fine, and I'll open a hole in the wall and walk away, find another problem, build another wall, stay in it, hibernate, leave the wall, and start all over again. And I just never sit within my feelings and deal with it. And that's why I'm just grateful that I do have this podcast, even if it's just me talking to myself and nobody's ever listening. That's completely fine for me, honestly. I just want myself, if I'm re-listening to this, and whoever else is listening to this, to just understand and know that it's okay to have your feelings, and there's nothing wrong with having feelings, but also recognize them and deal with them, because if not, it's just going to turn into this big old ball, and it's just going to fester, and it's just going to, when you leave a wound open and you don't heal it, and you just kind of like keep hitting it and hurting it and infecting it, and it just get worse, and then you have to amputate your leg. You know what I mean? We don't want to do that. I'm not trying to amputate my leg. Is that even appropriate to say? Oh my god. What am I doing? Okay, but yeah, on a more lighter note, I guess. I wonder if this I wonder if this what like 30 minutes of a podcast is even interesting. I mean, not much is gonna happen. This is just my first episode, intro episode. I guess I just want to leave on this note by saying that listen to your heart, listen to your feelings, and talk about your feelings. And yeah, pretty much started a podcast. Don't know how to end these things. This is so weird. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to cut all of that out. No, I'm gonna leave it in because that's me. That's my me, my natural form. Okay. I'm so awkward. I guess the only way to like sum this up is by saying thank you for listening to this podcast. I really do appreciate it. If you're listening on any other platform that's not YouTube, go ahead and like leave a rate or a comment or rating. I think it's rating. And if you just so happen to be listening on YouTube, leave a comment. You don't even have to like. I don't care if you like or dislike, but leave a comment letting me know if this either helped you or just something you just want to say. I'm here to listen. I need to do that a little more often. I need to listen to myself a little more often too. On a different note, I do want to say that I don't necessarily have like a schedule per se on when and what time or whatever. There's no schedule for this podcast, so like bear with me. I'm trying to figure it out. But really do appreciate it. I also have all the socials that are gonna be linked somewhere. Is this what I don't even know if this is a podcast people do. I feel so awkward saying this on a podcast. Do people say to go follow my Instagram? Not my Instagram, but the Misfits Room podcast has an Instagram if you want to follow that for more updates as to when I do upload my next episode. But yeah, I'm just gonna like trying to like leave right now because it's just getting really awkward and I'm still rambling. And I'll see you guys next week if I upload next week. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And okay, bye.